when they asked Jesus about the hour, the day of judgment, he said none knows but the angels, and none knows, not even the angels, just the Father in heaven. So remember we said, you said, is God all-knowing? I agreed with you. I said, yeah, I believe that God is all-knowing.
And that applies to Jesus too.
And what I'm saying is that when they asked him about the day of judgment or the hour in that verse, he said none knows but the Father.
Sure.
So I'm saying I don't believe Jesus was a liar. I believe that if he knew when something was going to happen, he would tell his people this is going to happen, or he would answer their questions.
Does he have? Okay, let's ask two questions and then I'll go into that, right? One, he doesn't have to do anything. And second, when we talk about the word in Greek, okay, I'm going to show you what it actually says in Greek so that you can see it, okay? Right. So you're talking about Matthew 24, and you can go to verse 36, okay? Now I want you to keep in line with a specific word, okay? Not 26, verse 36, right? Basically, of the day and the hour nobody knows, nor the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but the Father.
Oh, you know the verse, right?
Right.
Okay.
If you read that transliteration right there, could you read it exactly as it says word for word? There.
This one here in red, yeah?
Yeah.
Heavens nor the Son, if not the Father only.
Okay, if I said that to you in English, right?
Let me see that again.
Nobody knows, not the Son, if not the Father. Well, that sounds different, right? In Greek, the important clause is ame, or ame. It literally means if not. Right?
If not the Father.
If not the Father. So it's basically saying.
What's the first part say?
So it says.
None in.
No one knows. Concerning, however, the day, that, and the hour, no one knows, not even the angels of the heavens, nor the Son, if not the Father only.
But it says nor the Son, right? So, but you're saying that Jesus is the Son of God, and that is God. That is part of God's Trinity.
But when it says if not the Father, right? It is as if to say, if the Father does not know, how would you expect the Son to know? Meaning that because the Father knows, then necessarily the Son knows, which is why he's putting his own clause over here. But what you're concerned with is that word, oidan, meaning knows. Well, in this sense, it's actually an aorist, okay? What this is specifically trying to say here, right, in Greek, when the term know is used in Greek, it doesn't mean the same way we use it in English. I'm going to show you an example so you know exactly what I mean, okay? So hold on to that. It's the word knows that we're looking at, okay? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to chapter 2, and we're going to look at verse 2, okay? Now it's going to be the exact same Greek word. It's just going to be a different conjugation. It's the same word, okay? This is Paul speaking, and he's using the same language that was written in Matthew, okay? He says this. I decided not to know. This is the infinitive, to know. I decided not to know.
What's this regarding, sorry though? What's that, what's it about?
To know anything among you, if not Jesus Christ. Now let me ask you a question. Paul... But
that's a short, I don't know what the context of it was.
The context is simply that he was going to people and he decided not to preach anything to them except Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ crucified. The context is that Paul is deciding, I'm not going to declare anything else to you except this stuff over here because you're not ready to get the advanced stuff. The point is he uses the same term, no. He uses edenai, which is the infinitive of oiden. Same word, just different forms, okay? What that shows you is that in Matthew, it is not necessarily talking about intellect. It's talking about a declarative property. That the Father's prerogative is to declare the hour. Now, let's think of it in this way. The hour is the Son coming back, correct?
Yeah, but
right.
It was what I'm trying to say, SiiiG, is they've asked him a very simple question in Jesus. When is the hour? Because you know the hour, the day of reckoning or the day of judgment is a very important day.
If we talk about that then...
Hear me out, SiiiG, just give me 2 seconds, yeah? What I'm saying is that they're talking to him about when is the hour.
Yeah.
And ultimately he's responding by saying none knows the hour.
And what did we say knows mean?
But the Father. So what I'm saying is that he does not know when the hour is going to take place.
Right, and what did we say no meant? We mean it to declare. It means that it is not the prerogative of the Son to declare the hour.
So why did he say, I'm not going to tell you, it's not for me to tell you that?
Oh yeah, he does.
He said none knows but the Father.
Well, he does do that because he uses the word oiden. That's the point.
No, but
the word oiden is used in that way in the New Testament.
But SiiiG, what I'm saying is that if his response was that information is only for the Father, he would have responded in that way, because I don't believe Jesus was going to start...
That's exactly how he responds, by using the word oiden.
But he said none knows but the Father.
Yeah, none oiden but the Father. Oiden is the word he uses, and oiden means to declare in that sense.
So all the times it's been written in the Bible in that way that I've just said to you, it's been wrote down wrong. It was a wrong translation.
Oh no, again, it has that same... when we talk about words, right, they have semantic fields. Do you know what a semantic field is?
Yeah.
A semantic field is just basically a word can encapsulate many concepts. In this case, the word oiden doesn't only encapsulate the concept of our intellect stuff, but it also encapsulates the concept of declaring. Now, depending on the context of the word, we can know by which context is being used. So in Paul's case, we know that it's being used for declarative. And in Jesus' case, we know it's also being used in declarative. In other cases, it's using as no because he references other texts. In this way, when they're talking about the day and the hour, they don't actually ask him. They ask him about the signs of the end of the age. And for the entire chapter, Jesus tells them signs about the end of the age, when it's going to come. And the way you know that the end will come is that the gospel will be preached to the entire world. You can only have that knowledge if you know exactly when the end is going to come. So then oiden is being used in that sense to declare in its most principal form.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit tangled up, I'll be honest with you, SiiiG, but from what my understanding of that verse is that if Jesus is God and he knows everything, which I think we both believe, he would tell the people the hour, or he would say it's not for my job to tell you, that message is for someone else, or do you know what I mean?
Well, if he says it's not my job to tell you.
Pause your thought, because I need to tell you something.
Okay, cool. I was just still talking to him, but it's fine. So we have no evidence that Theophilus was like a Hebrew or Aramaic speaker, but we do know that he was a Greek speaker because Luke himself wasn't a Hebrew person. He was an Aramaic person. He wrote the Greek text for himself in the Greek characters. Same thing for people like Mark. We have evidence that in terms of early Christendom, they considered the Gospel of Mark not to have been written in Judea. It was most likely written in Rome. And if it was written in Rome, the lingua franca of Rome was either Latin or Greek. And so he wrote in the text that was common to those people at the time, which was Greek. Matthew did the same thing as a tax collector, having to know both Latin and Greek, as well as Aramaic, which is his native tongue, to be able to do tax collector jobs, right? So he wrote in the lingua franca again, which is Greek.